Coach Brennan.
Oh, good. There aren't any? All right, so
I promise just one question this time. But just, after so many months of grinding, what does it mean to finally get to the point where you're one day out from the game?
it's just exciting. I'm so fired up for these players and for this team and our fans. It's just to finally get to game day. It's obviously been a lot the last 7 months, in kind of the lives of Arizona football. So we're just excited to play. It's a lot of fun. Great energy at practice this week, so we're looking forward to it.
Jason and Jenna.
Is there any special conversation you or Zoe have with Jacoria just about the emotions of this weekend that could come up?
You know what? I've had a couple of players that I've coached that were kind of went through the same situation, and I think the biggest thing for them is just don't let it be about you. Let it be about this team, and because that's really what it's about anyway, right? So I think Jacori's in a good headspace and he's excited to play.
Jenna and Michael.
What does it mean to continue the tradition of having the honorary captains and having Chris McAllister back?
Yeah, I'm excited to see Chris Mack. What an incredible player he was, and I kind of got the chance to see him firsthand because he was my brother was on those teams, and just what a brilliant player. Actually, I was a graduate assistant. It's my first college game as graduate assistant at the University of Hawaii, and Chris McAllister housed the opening kickoff like 104 yards. I remember just watching him run down the field. He was so impressive. But we're excited to have him back. Obviously a legendary Wildcat, a great person, great NFL player. So anytime we can get our former players, come back, please, we want them here.
Michael and then Troy.
Speaking of captains, do you name season-long captains? Is it a week-to-week thing? And can you tell us who those guys are?
Actually, I can tell those guys, because are we going to announce that later?
I believe we are, yeah.
We want to wait until we do that?
Probably.
Okay, we're going to, sorry.
But is
We got to do like the cool thing, man. We got to do like a video, like let's get this thing going.
Is it season long or week?
Yeah, season long.
Season long.
Yeah. I've done it all kinds of ways. I just feel like there's such a clear, kind of a clear leadership on this team, and I think the players feel it. And the team voting was a virtual landslide, so it's good.
Troy and then Jay.
For you, what do Saturdays look like for you? Do you have any rituals or something that you follow, like you personally, or what are your Saturday mornings like when you're getting ready for the game Saturday night?
That's a good question. I always like to try and get a run early in the morning. I normally try and keep my routine the same. The last so many years at San Jose, even in Oregon State, we had so many night games. Like the night games are hard just because you kind of have to wait all day to play. So really, you're just trying to relax, watch football. Kind of have some more conversations with the staff about the game plan, that kind of stuff.
Jay in the back.
Is there a time during the course of game day that you start to get nervous? And is that going to be any different? How different will it be this year compared to last year at San Jose State?
I think it'll be. I think it has to be different, right? This is the first game here, so it's going to. And I have different connections to the University of Arizona than I had to San Jose. Both places really special to me. So that part of it's cool, but I think there's always a little bit of nervous enthusiasm and also for the start of the season. So just to get it started. There's been so much work, so much time put into the last 7 months. We finally get to play football, and so that part I'm excited about.
Michael and then Justin.
Great. Two personnel related questions. The first one, what has stood out to you about Michael Soldado Medina, who is a true freshman, is going to be a punter and a holder? Yeah,
so he's a kid has just incredible poise, and he's really talented. And I think that part of it, somebody was asking me recently about Tyler Loop. I think it was Becca Moros. I think it was our soccer coach. And I was saying he's an NFL player. She's like, how can you tell? And I'm like, listen, when he kicks the ball, it sounds different. And Michael has that too. And so it's pretty exciting. And so the biggest thing for him is like first game, freshman, all that stuff. Just try to get him to take a deep breath, get control of his biology. He's a good player, and he's going to be a great player here. So we're excited about him.
And then Rhino starting at left tackle, another one who has not played.
Right.
And again, he's a redshirt freshman, so it's a
Yeah.
little bit different, but what's been your assessment of how he has performed in that role?
I think he's done a great job accelerating his process, of development. I think Big Josh has done a really fantastic job coaching him. I think the fact that Josh played both left and right tackle, I think helps in terms of the teaching of that. He's also played as a young player. I think Josh also started also as a redshirt freshman. So he's talking him through what that's going to feel like. And yeah, there's going to be ups and downs for him, just like there is for all of us. It's football, and so, and we're going to help him through that and support him. But I'm excited to see Rhino play. He's a young, powerful, athletic kid, and we wouldn't be putting him out there if we didn't think he gave us the best chance to win.
Justin and then Jason.
Babers talked about how the chemistry and the camaraderie is probably the best that he's seen out of all the teams that he's coached. From your perspective, what can you say about the guys' togetherness?
I would agree. It's fantastic, and I think it's led by that leadership group. Those guys that were, some of those guys were here for like the long haul, so that that was forged through the fire, so to speak, of like not having success and struggling and working together and keep pushing, and then having the success they had last year. And then I also think it has a lot to do with the guys that are our best players also, or our highest profile players are also like kind of the best team guys on our team. If you're thinking about Fafita or Gunner or Stukes or, Jacob Manu or T-Mac, like that's, Baker, like those guys have great awareness of the importance of them keeping everyone together and continuing to lean into that brotherhood.
Jason?
I'm not sure if you've given this much thought, but the NCAA spring transfer portal, they've talked about and proposed getting rid of it. Would you be in favor of it, or just general thoughts on that?
I hadn't heard that. I don't know, I mean, last year we had to, work through 3 portals, so that was, with the coaching change. So whatever, I think, whatever they decide to do, we'll find a way forward. What choice do you have? So I don't know. I think coming out of spring practice, I think that's going to be a hard one to get through, because some of those players find out that they're not first team, and then they're like, well, I'm going to go try somewhere else, and some of that. So I think they might have a hard time getting that one through, but I don't know.
Justin and then Michael.
Do you know how many tickets have been sold for Saturday?
It's funny you asked me that. Someone else asked me that, and I don't.
Okay.
And we have smart people doing that stuff for us, and I'm trying to coach a football team. And so that's where all my energy and focus has been. I literally have no idea. I'm anticipating it being a great crowd. I'm anticipating our fans, the city, showing up for these players, because they're looking, when you think about when the coaching transition happened, what everyone thought was going to happen, and then for those players to choose to stay for the U of A, to choose to stay for each other, to choose to stay for the city of Tucson, I hope the city and our students and our fans show out for them.
And what is the most memorable Arizona home game you've attended?
Shoot, most of them I've been on the other sideline. You know what I mean? Trying to think when I was here for my brother. That's a great question. I wasn't here for the 12-1 year ASU game because I was coaching you. That's the year Chris Mack took the kickback against us in Hawaii. So trying to think. I was there the year that Arizona beat ASU up in Tempe. I think it was 17. So that wasn't a home game. I don't know if I have a great answer for that.
Okay.
Sorry.
All good.
Shoot, I'm hoping we're making those memories going forward,
Last question to Michael.
Why do you prefer to have morning practices versus afternoon?
There's lots of reasons. I think the first one is that you get them up early. For the rest of their life, they're going to have to get up early and go to work, right? So get them up early, you feed them, they have a workout, their bodies are awake, you feed them again, and then they go to school. And so in that regard, I think they're more awake than they are when they're going to class, versus, how some of us were when we would kind of roll out of bed and drag to class. These guys are fully awake and ready for their day. I like the fact that it gives them on the back end, it gives them a chance to go to study hall, do homework, whatever, because when you practice at night, like those practices end up going, whatever, two and a half hours. So say it's 4 hours from when you start. So they're done at 6, 7 o'clock, and then they probably eat, and some of them probably end up watching the tape or hanging around, and then they're getting home at 9, 10 o'clock. I think we have a chance to maximize their sleep, which is one of the most critical components of recovery for them. We talk about it a lot with our team, and Coach Carroll and our strength and conditioning staff and our training staff. And I think it also helps them make good decisions at night. You know what I mean? Whether some kids want to stay up all night and play video games, and they can't do that when they got to be rocking and rolling at 7 in the morning.